Hello everyone, Transport Enthusiast here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can create your very own bus route and timetable in the Bus by TML Studios, after which we will drive our very own creation. So today we have not only a virtual bus driver but also a virtual scheduler. I did do this in a live stream, but I've since learned how to use the editor properly, so this tutorial should be a lot more useful. So the first thing we do is we go into our editors, which includes the line, route, timetable and tour editor, and we just click on it. The next thing we want to do is we want to create our tour. I'm going to just delete this quickly because this is the one I created last time I tried to do this tutorial, but unfortunately it messed up itself. So what we want to do now is we want to create a new route. So the way we do this is we click Control, we click New, and then what we need to do is we need to rename this. So we're going to click Control and rename. You can call this whatever you want as long as it's up to 3 characters. I will call this route the X60. So the route we are going to create will run from Tegel Flughafen, or Flughafen Tegel to be more precise, to Hauptbahnhof, essentially a shuttle service between the airport and the train station. So what we want to do is we want to click enter so we can select the bus stops. You can select any bus stop along line TXL in phase 1. Once phase 2 is out, you'll also be able to select more bus stops, and once the map editor is out, you'll be able to add in your own bus stops and thus have more control over the routes you create. So we want to use Tegel Flughafen, so we're going to click this. And then we want to use the Hauptbahnhof, so we're going to find Hauptbahnhof and click it. We don't want to use any more, but of course if you want to use more bus stops, you're free to do so. You just click whatever bus stops you want to use. Then we want to swap the direction, so we've done our inbound, now we want to do our outbound, so we're going to click Alt, and then we want to start at the Hauptbahnhof, and we want to end at Tegel Flughafen, like so. And then we are ready to go, so we have our 2 routes here. So if we click Alt, if we click Control, and we click Alt, you'll see it should be different, I hope. Yeah, so Flughafen Tegel. Yeah, I think that's correct. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to look at our routes. So we're going to click this button here, and we have, there you go. So under here are our routes. So basically this is, for each timetable you click in, you need to have separate routes. So we have route 1 and route 2. So route 1 is from Flughafen Tegel to Hauptbahnhof, so that's inbound. And route 2 is the opposite, Hauptbahnhof to Flughafen Tegel, so that's outbound. And then of course you can create as many as you want. So what we do here is we just click right click and then copy, and then right click and copy. And then it's going to call them 3 and 4. And then this basically will allow you to create more than one tour in your timetable, and you can keep doing this for as long as you like. I'm just going to delete those because we only want to create one tour just to keep this video as short as possible. The next thing we do is we go here into a timetable and we create a timetable. Bear in mind that there's 3 different times you have to set your timetable for. So you have Monday to Friday, you have Saturday, and you have Sunday. So just make sure that if you want to have your tour available or your route available on all days, you create a timetable for each of the 3 days respectively, or each of the 3 day sets respectively. So we're going to click Control, and this will allow us to edit the timetable. And then we're going to create our inbound. We're going to start at 7 o'clock. Of course, you can use whatever time you want. We're going to click enter. And then if you have selected route 3 here, or you have more than one inbound route, all the routes you can choose are going to show up here. We click enter, and then we're going to escape. We're going to click this again, and then we're going to click here and create an interval. And then you can use whatever time interval you want. I'm going to use 10 minutes. And then we're going to create this interval to run for as long as we want. So, yeah. Let's say until about 15, something like that, maybe 13, just to keep it quick. But of course you can keep going for as long as you like. Then one thing to make sure is click enter. I accidentally clicked right click there, you meant to click enter, so we have to redo that. Yeah, see, so this is the issue, just make sure you click enter, else it's a bit frustrating. So we're going to click here and create interval, and then just make sure we click enter at the end, else this is going to be a bit of a disaster. And yeah, once this is done, once you're happy, just click enter. There we go. Then we just right click. Oh no. By the way, if you want to escape, click again. If you want to scroll through, you're going to click. Now, this is not what we want. This is a bit fidgety. Okay, there we go. No. Control. There we go. Now we want to left click and we want to add a return. So this is the inbound. Now we want the outbound. So basically your reverse direction is going to be on the bottom side. So we're going to add a return. And then same thing, click enter. And then it's going to show you all the outbound routes you've created. We only have one, which is 02, so click enter. And then we want to create our intervals, so if we just click control and then click here and create interval, and again we just zoom out a bit. No, so we click here, create. So click on this, left click, that is, create interval. And yeah, so pretty much. You can't add a return because this is the return journey. This is your outbound. And then you keep going until you reach, not to worry if you accidentally cut it short, you can always just continue creating your interval like so, and we'll just keep going. So basically, you pretty much want these the top to match the bottom, and that looks fine. Enter, and that's all good. And then one thing to note is you can actually move around, so you can zoom in and zoom out. You can also usually navigate by right clicking. For some reason now it's doing this, so that's how it is. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Usually you can zoom in and out, you can move from right to left, but there you go. So once you zoomed in, you can right click and do this as well if you want, just to give you more maneuverability and more precision when setting the times. We're going to go back. Now we need to create our tours. Again, we want to go to our X60 or whatever line you create. You want to click on the line you've created here, and then this is the last part. And then you click, this is the part where you basically create your tour so that it does inbound and outbound journeys. Again, in phase 1 there's no depot runs. In phase 2 there might be there probably will be depot runs, so then you'll be able to implement those as well. As you can see, for those of you who are familiar with the Omsi 2 editor, this is a lot simpler to use. I'll talk a bit more about that in a second, but basically the nice thing about this is it automatically is going to set your destination, so there's no scripting involved whatsoever. So then we're going to right click here, and we're just going to keep right clicking. Now what you're going to notice is you have 3 different things here. So what they basically mean is attention means that this is not valid and it will not work, so you need to scrap that. The way you scrap it is you just left click again and it removes it. This means that it's basically doing a dead run from, say if you're going from Flughafen Tegel to Hauptbahnhof, basically means it's transferring back to the Tegel Flughafen, but it's not operating in service. So this is basically running light, running dead, whichever way you want to call it, and not in service means it's laying over, hence why it's a P as in parked. So we want to click this, we want to click here, and we keep going like so. Okay, perfect. Now again, this is not going to work. Then we need to add in a return journey, so we can just chuck them in between, and yeah, pretty much pretty straightforward. Nothing really to comment here, and then that's done. We're just missing one. No, that's fine. So then you can see here there's some layover time, but it's a bit tight when you're going inbound and outbound. And then what we want to do is we're going to go back, and that's created. Now we've only created for Monday to Friday. Of course, when you create your Saturday and Sunday, they will show up here as well. But just to keep things short, I'm not going to show that as well because it's the same process. Now we're ready to drive. So we're going to go here, and you're going to have your routes here under X60, whatever you've called it, so TXL X60. And then we have the 2 routes available, Flughafen Tegel. As you can see, we can select times, and we have Hauptbahnhof. We're going to go from Tegel Flughafen, and then we can select all the times available. And if you go check here, if you go to Saturday, nothing will be available because we didn't create one for Saturday. And then we go back, and then our weather is dynamic, and let's get going. And that's it. That's how straightforward it is. We've created a route now, nothing more to do. So it's quite simple. This is very neat because, you know, in contrast to the Omsi 2 editor, which takes a lot more time to create a route, we've created a route that took about, what, 5 minutes. Nice and simple. So again, if you just go back to the main menu, just to show something here. If you just go here, and we go to our line and tour, you can also do the reverse, as you see here. And you'll notice that your intervals pretty much will run for as long as you set them. So we set it from 7 to... Yeah, so we set it from 7 to 12:30, so that's when the last one is. If you go outbound, I think the last one should be at 1. Oh, but it's not. Okay. Again, you'll probably be more meticulous with this. You'll pay more attention to the times you're using. But again, there you have it. So now we can drive our route. And this is really it. So now we're ready to go. We're ready to hit the road. So as you saw there, I forgot to mention, but at the top when you're creating the first parts, when you're creating your actual routes, it will show you. Oh, what a surprise! It will show you what should we call it? How long it is. So I think this is 9 kilometers we've selected, and it'll show you the estimated journey time, which is 12 minutes for us. We turn on our engine, and then once we set this up, you'll see that our route has been selected automatically. We don't have to do any scripting. Basically, the way it decides what to show up is based on the bus stop names. So once phase 2 is out, you'll be able to have more control over that. Oh, we've put in the wrong thing. 55, 320. There we go. And if we take a look outside, there it is. X60 to Hauptbahnhof. 7 ist Linie 60 Express zum Hauptbahnhof. Willkommen zum Deutschland, Berlin, die Hauptstadt. Okay, so we're gonna close up our doors and away we go. Turn on the engine, turn on the lights. That's pretty smart. It knows when it tells you when you need the lights on. S, and let's just do a click Alt 4, see what our FPS is like. Oh, Alt R. How much FPS are we getting? 21 FPS. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so as you can see here, this is quite GPU bound. If you look at the CPU utilizations in the 50% mark, GPU is on the 100% mark. So the Unreal Engine 4, a lot of people seem to be saying that the CPU is more important. It's actually it's more GPU bound. So having obviously the CPU is important, but the GPU is the one that is used the more. Okay. And then this is our line, so it's going to show up on our map. So this is another handy thing. If you don't know the line you've created, you can always refer to the little minimap at the bottom right. It will also show the stops we have to skip. So we've basically created an express of the express. This is an even faster version of the TXL. One thing to note is that Tegel Flughafen no longer exists because they stopped using it in 2019 or 20, I believe. Okay, we kind of missed that there, but not to worry. So it's kind of like Omsi 2. It's a bit historic, this game, the most, because yeah, Tegel Flughafen is no longer in operation as an airport. So pretty much, basically now as an airport in game is pretty much going back into history, and the TXL no longer exists either. Look at those wheels, kind of seem to be half working. Ah, there's the glare. So yeah, as you can see here, this is a nice thing about the editor. It's very simple to use. It's very easy to create your own route. It's a lot less time consuming because with the Omsi 2 editor you have to create the tracks and the trips, and it's just it's a pain to do. And this, as you saw in the model, I think it was about 5 minutes we got our route up and running. There's no announcements for it, so I wonder, because obviously this is phase 1, so this is pretty much like the bare bone features, but you know, once it's fully released, I'm not sure, but you know, it's likely you'll be able to add in announcements, you'll be able to add in all those kind of added extras. It can enhance the experience. Let's see, again, if you click Alt R if you're using NVIDIA, let's see what our FPS is like. We're getting 14 FPS. Yeah, pretty pathetic. So yeah, this is how it runs on a low spec PC pretty much. And then again, our GPU is at 100%. But yeah, I mean, our Omsi 2 and London one's about at the same frame rates. No, stay there. Yeah, I don't know. They should have been staying there. That did not sound good. But yeah, it's got a bit of an Omsi 2 mindset. Rules of the road. I think the AI car's got time for that. So yeah, the bus. See, it's been about a month since we last made a video of this, so there's been a few changes since then. Mainly things like bug fixes, that kind of thing. They added in also on the Discord now. You have a screenshot of all, or like a guide of all the keybinds. So it's quite handy if you want quick access to all the stuff there. So check our mirrors and we can turn. There we go. Some graffiti on the wall. Bit of an eyesore, but yeah, it is what it is. But another thing is I'm using the NVIDIA Shadow Play, so basically the recording quality should be a lot better. For some reason, with the with OBS, I don't get the best recording experience with any games that use the Unreal Engine 4. It's fine for any other game, but the Unreal Engine 4 games, I find shallow play is better. Basically, ones that are more demanding, the shallow play works quite well. And probably that's why our GPU is at 100%, because basically we're encoding using the GPU rather than the CPU. So yeah, and we have 5 kilometers to go. Our scheduled arrival is at 12 past 7. So yeah, we leave at 7 and we're meant to be there at 12 past 7. The steering, you see, the steering in this game feels very different to like Omsi 2. It kind of feels, I think a lot of people saying this understeering because Infernal Bus is also understeering. But it's, I guess there's kind of an element of that. But yeah, it's the steering wheel. It feels like with Omsi 2, it feels it's a lot more responsive. Here, it's not as responsive, which is basically what understeering is. So yeah, this is what it is. Speeding along. Ah, there we go. So you've got the announcements. You have the bus stop announcements because obviously those are ascribed to the bus stop. But we don't have like a, a line announcement. So Expresslinie 60 bis, zu Hauptbahnhof. Die nächste Hauptstelle ist Hauptbahnhof. Or wird Hauptbahnhof sein. No, that's not correct. German. Okay. I think we go straight ahead. I'm not sure because we have to turn around. Hauptbahnhof, this is going to take us some roads which are actually locked. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Okay. But yeah, I think it's been about a month since I played this game. So yeah, revisiting after a month's time. So yeah, the thing is, like, this route editor, it's a nice way just to spice the things up and just, add in a bit more gameplay hours while you're waiting for phase 2 and phase 3. Because obviously once you do line TXL a few times, it's going to get a bit dull. We've only got like 2 passengers, so yeah, this is how popular our line is. I think again, once they add in the proper map editor, you'll have more control over the amount of bus passengers that get on, like with Omsi 2. Yeah, I've completely forgotten. Ah, there we go. It's 0 that goes into the interior. I kind of forgot which keybinds it was. I should have that one open, the one that the TML published on the Discord there recently. It's also in our Discord because we have the announcements channel from TML implemented inside the Discord. And another thing to mention is because this is something I actually failed to, I wasn't actually aware of. They didn't mention it to us, or it wasn't really mentioned explicitly to us. But basically, someone said on the Discord that actually these sounds you hear on the Scania at the moment, they're only placeholders. Placeholders basically mean that they're only there temporarily while the proper sounds are acquired. So this is actually from a Scania Touring from Fernbus. So that's why it doesn't actually sound like a Scania LF precisely. It's interesting, some people were saying that it sounds like exactly like a Scania LF, but others aren't, so it is a bit subjective. But also, if you haven't really been on a Scania, you might not be too familiar. If you haven't been on this particular version of the Scania in real life, you might not be particularly aware of what it sounds like in real life. But basically, they will add in proper sounds for the bus within some point of the early access. So that's obviously nice because then we'll have better sounds, because the current sounds, they're not as good as they could be really. But I mean, it's understandable considering the placeholders. Yeah, because given the current climate is obviously due to restrictions that have been basically in place throughout, like before the video early access one, basically early access phase 1 basically meant it was hard for them to actually gain access to a depot to record the bus sounds, but they do have they have teamed up with some sort of studio that's going to record the sounds for them. So that's also something else to look forward to. I wonder if they'll use the same sound set for the LF and the other one. Sorry, the 18 meter and the 12 meter, because obviously I think with the Bendy bus it'd be nice if they added in some squeaking of the harmonica, or I'm gonna call it harmonica even though that's, oh, we've gone the wrong way. Yeah, they okay, let me just open up the map. Oh no, we've gone the, Okay, that was telling us to turn right there for some reason, but no, that's fine. Yeah, because there'd be an invisible wall if it was not, if we had actually gone the wrong way. This is another handy thing. You can just click M and it opens up the map so you can plan your journey in advance. Yeah, I need to change my settings. Things look a bit too bright and unnatural. I need to play around with the settings. I know it doesn't look great. I need to get a new GPU, but unfortunately now with the shortage and the scalpers and the Bitcoin miners, and you know, all basically supply is short, demand is supply is, you know, limited, demand is high, prices are pretty much double what they usually are. So I don't really recommend anyone to buy a GPU probably this year, because they'll be paying extortionate prices, because inflation on the GPUs is very drastic, to say the least. Oh, whoops, yeah, I had a feeling. Yeah, don't mind that, don't mind that. We'll pretend nothing happened there, you saw nothing. Yeah, our draw distance isn't great because, as you can see, there's barely drawing in the buildings. I think this has changed my settings. I don't remember them being like this. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have. I should have looked at what time I've set, because I think sunrise looks the basically early dawn looks the worst if you don't have the right settings, or if you're in a low spec PC. Rain generally works the best for me. It was funny because actually I had basically recorded this, but I was trying to see the FPS, and I thought for some reason it's Alt F4, even though Alt F4 just closes the game. So yeah, that's what happened, and it kind of cut the video short. So we had to redo it. Yeah, there you go. There's another disaster. Luckily that did not happen on stream. PC Reparaturen und Telekom. The bus is like breathing. It's kind of like going up and down. Just watch it. It's like, it's a living, breathing, artificial thing. Okay, should be going green now in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and away we go. Ah, those two lights are in sync, as you saw there. 2 kilometers left. Okay, yeah, so it's 7:07. So we have 5 minutes to get there. I think we left a bit early because we're meant to leave at 7. So I think there's like 3 minutes layover time before it has to do the return. There's no AI buses as of yet, so we will see once they add in phase 2 if the AI buses will work or not. With the custom created lines, that is. Ooh. We need to get our... Oh, this doesn't have the curtain. Yikes. Well, better get the sunglasses then. Well, actually, now the dashboard looks very defined. Oh, we turn left here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so this map should be taken with a pinch of salt, to say the least, because I'm pretty sure it's left. See, it's telling us to go down this road. We're gonna chance around. I have a feeling that's wrong, but you know, that's what it's telling us to do. So we'll see. If we end up hitting an invisible wall, we'll just reverse out. We're not with the bendy bus, so we don't get trapped. You can also reset the bus by pressing the spacebar, but it doesn't always put you in a position that's quite handy. Yeah, because last time further up there's an invisible wall. We'll see if that's still the case. Because technically it shouldn't be putting us through invisible walls. Yeah, because we can see there's an invisible wall, but I'm not seeing any any warning sign there's an invisible wall up ahead. So we shall see. Is that a Mercedes with the peace sign? I don't know, it's a star. Is it a star? It's got 6, so never mind. So it was still a star, but it's not your traditional cliche star, so to speak. So yeah, here's some new unexplored ground in the bus. I'm just gonna slow down in case we hit an invisible wall. Anticipating. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, there's an invisible wall there. So this is another thing. Bear in mind that sometimes it's gonna tell you to go through. It's gonna tell you like to go straight ahead, when actually in phase 1 these areas are locked because those areas will be added into phase 2. But not to worry. We managed okay. And let's just go through here. So yeah. We'll ignore the unrealism that had occurred there. I added back the tram tracks because the tram tracks were there in the alpha, then they got removed, then they've been added back in. Yeah, so again the GPS adjusts. Because it's an express line, there's loads of variations we can use. So if you take a look here, yeah. It's because what we need to do is we need to turn around, so we're not actually allowed to do a turn around there. We need to somehow end up going around here. So once phase 2 is out, again, we'll have more access to roads. Here, unfortunately, that's not so much the case. But we're not doing the return journey, so it really shouldn't matter if we don't end up on the other side of the road anyway. Because with Line TXL, I think, officially, it doesn't actually turn around at the boulevard. There's a little, like, separate square, but I think that's also locked out. Yeah, so, like, here, just to show you quickly. At Alexanderplatz, as far as I recall, it turns around here, but that's locked out. Let's hit our horn. Let's go. Oh, the horn sounds different, I think. Well, I can't remember. Ah, Aldi. The Aldi logo is different in Germany. But yeah, there's Hauptbahnhof. I can see it now. So we're not going to turn there because that's just going to be an invisible wall. We learned a lesson. Fool us once, shame on us. Fool us. Let's just take a look. Take a look there. Yeah, I'd say. I'm gonna say that's an invisible wall. Oops. We should keep a. Yeah, the other thing is if you crash into stuff like into lampposts, it just knocks them down. So again, the collisions are a bit more realistic than with Omsi 2. How do I reset? I forgot how you recenter the view again. Do I hear a fan? I think I hear a fan on the bus. You guys hear that? I don't know. I don't even know. Most of you probably haven't gone this far. Most of you probably tuned out once we finish the tutorial. Yeah, I don't think we can go down that tunnel. Well, anyway, here is our terminus. We're just gonna. I think we have to turn around because officially, yeah, it's on the other side of the stop that we selected. We probably should have selected this stop here, but yeah, live and learn, as they say. This is gonna be tight. Good thing we didn't choose the bendy bus. Yeah, it's gonna tell us to do a massive diversion. Let's just, out of curiosity. Yeah, that's the diversion it's gonna tell us to do. We ain't doing that. No, thank you. Again, I think this the steering feels a bit unrealistic, but sure. Oh, whoops. Don't mind that. Hauptbahnhof. In Teitelstellen. Bitte aufsteigen. So here we are. Hauptbahnhof. We'll open up the doors. Let's take a look. Will our passengers get off? Yeah, last stop. This job's still on. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, there you go. Yeah, the other thing is the deboarding is not as realistic as it should be. But that's something apparently that was an issue with Fernbus. Apparently VHD approached them to say he could fix it, but they basically said they weren't interested. That's what someone on Calcium said anyway. But yeah, here we are, and now as you can see the destination has automatically changed. And yeah folks, that is it. That's how you create your very own bus route in the bus. This is our very own bus route here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a like if you did. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Comment down below. Join the Discord, etc. I'm speaking really fast because I know everyone hates bugs. Bye for now. Until next time.